the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester. We've got a stiff breeze out there right now. Temperatures seem to be warming up just a little bit, and we are going to be getting some dry down as we go through the afternoon hours, which is music to a few people's ears. Right now, Matthew, what do we have at the airport?
Well, over at the airport, it's cloudy at 66. Over in Midland, it's also cloudy at 66. Here at Radio Center, it's cloudy at 66. We have southwest winds at 15 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 29.94, and it's steady.
And over the morning, we've seen some wind gusts of better than 24 miles per hour. Again, coming out of the southwest. Eventually, that wind is going to come out of the west, and then the northwest and the north. And when it turns out of that northwest and north, you're going to know it. Not only because there's going to be a breeze, it's not going to be a strong breeze, but there'll be a breeze. But those temperatures are going to be acting a little bit chillier than what we have been seeing. Overnight low was quite mild for this time of the year, well above the average high for what we should be experiencing here toward the end of October. And I mentioned a little bit earlier about the dry down. We did not need the precipitation we picked up over the last 24 hours. Fortunately for us in the Great Lakes Bay area, anywhere from 0.15 to 0.3 of an inch reported from a number of our reporting stations. A little bit further south, especially southeast Michigan, either nothing or up to as much as 0.1 of an inch. A lot more in the way of precipitation over on the west side of the state and in northern Michigan, where they have been picking up quite a bit of precip because the frontal systems that have been setting up and the tracking of the low pressures following those fronts has been running pretty much from the central part of the continental United States right up through the upper peninsula and then eventually well into Canada. The last low to affect our weather is right now in central Quebec. That has a trailing cold front, and that one is, well, to the east of Michigan. The next low-pressure system that we're watching is going to be tracking, once again, up through the western part of the UP. That is going to have a front associated with it. So later on this afternoon, after we actually see a little bit of sun, and we have seen some sun so far, it does appear as though either late this afternoon or tonight, we're going to watch that front move through the lower peninsula. Now, it's going to be coming from the northwest and gradually sliding through in a southeasterly direction, which is the reason why it'll be later on this evening here. But for northern Michigan, and in particular, we're talking the Grayling area, Houghton Lake, Kalkaska, Traverse City, Cadillac, that particular part of the state. A little bit later on this afternoon into the early evening hours is where you're going to see the precipitation pattern there. Right now, it doesn't appear as though there's going to be a lot of rain associated with this. And as we go through the nighttime hours, that chance of precipitation is still going to be there, but the amount of precipitation should be quite light. And then the early morning hours tomorrow morning, everything is pretty much going to be moving out of here. So the day tomorrow should be a whole lot nicer when it comes to sunshine than what we have been experiencing over the past couple of days. Not going to be as warm, though. 71 is our projected high by the time the day is all done. A low tonight of 45 with some scattered showers around. But again, I emphasize the word scattered, and it is going to be tapering off in the early morning hours tomorrow morning. Again, very widely scattered and spotty. Partly to mostly sunny for the day tomorrow, where it will be 70, 71 today. It'll be 49 tomorrow. So our overnight low tonight and our daytime high tomorrow are going to be pretty close to each other. Tomorrow night will only drop down to about 42. We're looking for mostly sunny skies, and then moving into the evening hours, there will be some clouds moving in and a real good chance of rain showers kicking in after midnight Saturday night into the morning hours on Sunday. We'll have a north breeze tomorrow, 7-8 miles per hour. Northeasterly, about the same, 7-8 miles per hour tomorrow night. And then northeasterly tomorrow, about 7-8 miles per hour. So really no strong gusty winds, but the temperatures are definitely going to be colder. Our high on Sunday will be 45. We're going to be looking at a chance of some showers early Sunday. The better chance precipitation will be later in the day on Sunday and Sunday evening. We'll drop down to 36 for a low on Sunday night with that chance of showers. And northern Michigan, especially the Upper Peninsula, will be looking at snow on Sunday night. During the day on Monday, partly cloudy skies, 42 for a high, clear skies Monday night. And those temperatures will let you know that there's hardly any clouds around. 26 for a low on Monday night. Then on Tuesday, we're going to be looking at 40 for a high. We're going to be pushing to get there. I think we're going to make it. There will be a chance of precipitation on Tuesday, and that chance of precipitation will involve some of the fluffy stuff as well as just liquid precipitation. Middle 20s for a low on Halloween night. Then on Wednesday and Thursday, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy. On those 2 days, we're not looking for anything in the way of precipitation midweek, next week, moving into or close to the weekend. But low 40s for a high, upper 20s for a low. Long range to take us through the 9th. We're looking for slightly below average on the precipitation, slightly below average on the temperatures. Record high in the state, 79, set back in 1927. The record low, 20, set in 1936. And a year ago, our high was 51, our low was 32. We had no precipitation a year ago today. Sun will set this evening, 6:35, rise tomorrow morning at 8:06. And a year ago, well, not a year ago, back in 1967, we had 5 inches of snow on this date back then. And the water equivalent was almost 1 inch and 7/10 of precipitation. So it was a heavy, wet one. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, Matthew, who do we have?
Up next, we have Gary Kaufman from Star of the West and Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Ed Raymond's. Quality clothes and shoes since 1919. We're talking Carhartts. We're talking Red Wing shoes and boots. Stormy Cromer accessories. They got a wonderful ladies department down there as well. So check them out. Ed Raymond's, 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. They are open 7 days. Along with us, Gary Kaufman at Star of the West. And Gary, looks like a little bit of a flip-flop as far as what the markets have been doing these days. Wheat has been up, but corn and soybeans been lagging. And the last time I looked, it was just the opposite.
Yeah, it's been a choppy trade all week here, Terry. You know, you look back at where last Friday closed and where we're at here in the noon hour. Soybeans, for the most part, are unchanged. I mean, like you said, we're down 8, up 11, down 10. It's just back and forth all the time here. So,
but well, we probably got a lot of reasons why the markets are doing what they're doing. But what really seems to be jumping out at you, and what has been going on this week that has kind of pushed these markets the way they're going?
Well, I mean, basically in in the soybean arena, Terry, this a lot of this escalating conflict in the Middle East has really created a lot of volatility. The soy products are kind of leading the way here the last couple of days. You got meal and oil. I think meal made a contract high here on Wednesday, and we're going to try to break that again today. So that's getting the soybean market going. That conflict between Israel and Hamas, as that continues to escalate, you're going to continue to see volatility. The corn, on the corn side, even though we're kind of down 13 for the week because of basically harvest pressure, and but we are starting to see some good demand not only in corn but in beans. We heard some rumors here overnight that Chinese were canceling some Brazilian beans. No confirmation of that yet, but again, you got to. It's kind of like sometimes buy the rumor, sell the fact, and that was kind of the deal yesterday in the wheat arena. There was some confusing reports from Ukraine that the Black Sea loadings have been suspended, but finding out overnight and this morning that's not true. So wheat is down today. So all those things are going to create a nice environment as we move here through the next few weeks for sure. So
I'm just kind of curious before we get to the prices, Gary. We've heard a lot about the wheat and the wheat crop in other parts of the world and how it's influencing our prices right now. Then I look at the crop progress report here from Michigan, and I'm seeing that we are way off versus what we were a year ago on planting wheat. I would have to assume some of that is simply because the soybeans and the dry beans were lagging behind on the harvest. But have you guys heard anything about the intentions? What are we looking at here as far as getting wheat in the ground?
Yeah, it's definitely weather related. With the wet weather we've seen 2 years ago, if you look back to 2021, we had kind of a similar aspect where we couldn't get wheat in the ground, and a lot of it, your dry beans, of course, they're pretty much done, and so we were able to follow up some wheat acres there. But the guys that wanted to put wheat in that following soybeans, that's been a challenge this fall. And moving forward, I always say you kind of want to have wheat in by the first week of November at the very latest. We've seen some years past where it's still created a pretty decent crop. So, but yeah, you're right on, Terry. Wheat acres definitely going to be down this fall because of the late fall and weather conditions just hasn't been conducive to plant wheat for sure.
So right now on the board, what do you have?
Well, we got cash wheat down 6, 534 on the white, 464 on the red. New crop for next year down a nickel at 622 on the white, 547 on the red. Cash and current crop corn up 2, 411, and cash and current crop soybeans up 20 right now, Terry, at 1221.
Gary, you have a nice weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday, okay?
Sounds good, Terry. You
Will do. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us. The market report brought to you by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture for well over 125 years. 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region right now. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. And by Schaefer and Beerline. The seasons are changing, and so is the new Ram truck inventory at Schaefer and Beerline. The 2023 heavy duties are still coming in, and the 2024 1500s are arriving. So if you're in the market for that new Ram 1500, Ram heavy-duty pickup, ProMaster van, or Ram commercial truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a business-linked dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, now's the time to see Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Doug Klein, it's Friday.
Stranger every day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I don't know. Friday night can't come soon enough.
I'm going to say.
Yep.
Well, Amazon had their earnings. They were good, so they're up $10 a share. But Ford put their $12 billion EV unit kind of sort of on ice for the time being. And Ford and GM both hit new lows today, so I don't know if they're giving away the nest egg on this contract or what, but that seems to be the implication as far as the stock prices go. What else is interesting? Well, not all that much. It's just kind of mixed, the markets were up, the stock markets were up this morning, and now they're kind of trending more closer to down. NASDAQ's still up 1%, but S&P is barely up, and the Dow Jones is down about 100 points. So who knows? Like I said, happy Friday. Here's your numbers. The December corn is 482, up 2 3/4. March corn is 496, also up 2 3/4. November soybeans 1301 1/4, up 21 3/4. The March soybeans 1335 1/2, up 21 3/4. December wheat is 574 1/4, down 5 1/4, and March wheat is 601 1/4, down 4 3/4. The crude oil is 83.98, up 77 cents. Heating oil is 293.74, that's down 2.8 cents. Gasoline 227.22, up 3.5 cents. Natural gas 379 1/4, that's up 8.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.3862 Canadian, that's up 38 ticks. The dollar buys 149.57 yen, that's down 81 ticks. The euro's at 105.90, up 30 ticks. The dollar's at 106.35, down 25 ticks. Gold's at 1991.40, down $6. Silver's 22.86, down 4.5 cents. And platinum is at 913.80, up $9.30.
You have a nice weekend, Doug.
I will. Yep, you too.
Take care. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Predictability in farming is next to impossible until now. Pivot Bio provides a more reliable, more predictable source of nitrogen. Pivot Bio delivers nitrogen directly to the plant throughout the growing season. It adheres directly to the root, so Pivot Bio doesn't wash away in the rain. Plant more predictability next season with Pivot Bio. Learn more by contacting Don Morris, 989-239-2791, or Allie Morris at 989-780-3770 to get Pivot Bio products in your operation today. We'll be right back.
Looking for bigger, bolder, better yields? Look no further than FSC. FS Envision Seed Corn and FS High Soy Soybeans are here to change the game. Our seed products deliver winning results every single time. Your local FS crop specialist is ready to take your farm and yields to the next level. Ready to change the game with bin-busting yields at harvest? Reach out to your local FS retailer or visit fsc.com.
Like you, we never settle. There's more sugar, in fact, better sugar in every seed we sell. For more than a century, we put innovation to work in the service of growers who plant Crystal brand sugar beet seed. With varieties developed especially for your growing area, you can be confident your success is always our top priority. This season, and for seasons to come, choose a seed partner who shares your priorities.
The beauty of a family farm is that everyone pitches in to get things done. There is nothing like the smell of a sugar beet field during harvest or a meal served off the tailgate of a pickup. This is Jeff Karst, your ACH Seeds representative, with a friendly reminder to keep safety a top priority this harvest season. Please encourage your crews to be cautious with fieldwork and drive safely as they deliver this crop. You've built an impressive legacy, one that is certainly worth protecting. Thank you for your continued business again this year.
ACH Seeds, growing with you.
Farm Service brought to you by Freeland Bean and Grain. Hey, you've got a lot of questions, I know. Folks are working up some ground right now, trying to get some crops off, a little bit of everything going on. And there's a lot of concern about what's in the field and what might be in the field come next spring. Good idea to get a hold of Vic Huffer at Freeland Bean and Grain. He's a certified crop advisor, and he has some answers to the questions you might have. Serving you since 1983. We're serving you is their business, Freeland Bean and Grain. Along with us, Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment. And Kim, you had a lot of people asking you about those ATVs, but from what I understand, your stock is really turning up to be limited right now.
Yeah, Terry, it is getting limited, and but we still got a couple left. I got a black 850 Sidekick, and I got this Camel 850 Sidekick here That's if you want it for hunting, now's the time. Give me a call. It's got a great gas engine in it, goes up to 40 miles an hour, speed assisted steering, hydro transmission or CVT transmission. Come on in and see it. Take it for a ride. It's a great vehicle for hunting, but I also say maybe one of them, our American Crystal guys, would like something like that because, like Mr. Bernie says, or Mr. Jeff Karst say, there's nothing better in a sugar beet field than having a dinner or lunch off of the tailgate of a pickup. This has got that tailgate. Mom can bring it out to the field no matter what the conditions are, whether she's bringing sloppy joes or pulled pork sandwiches. You can get it out there and get the guys fed. Come on in and see it. It's a great machine. It's got 0% financing or long rate financing at 72 months. Great machine. And I also want to say that I've got closeout deals on zero-turn lawnmowers. If you want something for next spring and you want a good deal on one, give me a call at 989-754-7801 or send me an email at k.weiss, W-E-I-S-S, at lingo1.com, and I'll get you the information.
Kim, thank you very much. You have a great weekend, okay?
You too.
Thank you. Kim Weiss at Lingo Equipment. Over to Maple Hill Nursery in Midland we go. Chuck Cervinsky joining me right now. And, Chuck, we've had a lot of folks ask, and you've talked about pruning trees and shrubs, but should we get right at it or should we wait a little bit?
We might want to wait just a little bit till the weather cools off, which looks like it's going to happen next week. Early fall, pruning wounds close off more slowly, and trees are really more at risk for fungal diseases than at other times of the year. Pruning in early fall may also stimulate new growth, which really has little time to harden off before that cold weather comes. And the cold can harm tender foliage, and then the tree is going to end up needing more pruning in the spring to remove damage. So waiting for the leaves to be totally off the tree, like they always are in November, is one of the best times to prune. After the leaf drop, you can really see the tree structure and identify disease and insect problems a lot more easily, and pruning wounds are going to close off so much faster due to the cooler weather. And it's also, in November, is a good time to do any root pruning that you might want to do, and that's going to help stimulate new root growth for next year.
Good advice. Chuck, you're open. What are your hours right now?
Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, Saturday, 8 to 4, and then we're closed on Sundays.
All right. Chuck Cervinsky, you have a nice weekend. We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Chuck Cervinsky, Maple Hill Nursery. Let's get over to AgriLiquid right now. Stephanie Zelenko joining me. And Stephanie, when I asked you a week or so ago about, hey, what should we be talking about? I got a shoulder shrug. It was like, I don't know. I know you've had a lot of questions from producers out there. What do they seem to be asking about right now?
Well, in Michigan, they ask, when is it going to stop raining? That's the number one question right now. But aside from that, this time of year, it's your typical check, for soil tests, get your inputs purchased. So I think for, the guys locally here, as they're frustrated that we can't get to the fields as frequently as we want to, number one, rest, because there's going to be a lot of busy days ahead of you. But number two, start thinking about that future crop that you plan to plant. And so organizing your seed thoughts, your crop protection thoughts, your fertilizer thoughts, and just get prepared for next year because we're going to have a later than normal harvest. And so we need to take advantage of this little bit of downtime that we have right now.
Good advice. See, you knew what to talk about.
Of course.
I never have to worry about you at all. Stephanie Zelenko, you have a nice weekend, okay?
Thanks, you too.
All right. Stephanie Zelenko with AgriLiquid. We'll be right back.
Beta Seed is known for an all-star lineup of experts, breeders, technicians, and scientists around a single goal, your continued success. This is Rob Gerstenberger reminding you that Beta Seed works hard to understand your challenges, goals, and opportunities. We have varieties bred to maximize tonnage and sugar while also managing disease, all developed and refined in your local grower fields. We know that you manage a lot of variables, but your Beta Seed team remains focused on one, grower satisfaction. Let me know how we've done and how we can build the next generation of seed together.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Krizak's House Family Restaurant. You got an event coming up and you need to supply the food, 989-894-5531. Folks have been dialing up that number for years, and they've been very happy that they did. They'll supply the food for you. All you got to do is stop by and pick it up. Krajak's House. Also a great place to dine in. Corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. Well, get out and enjoy the weekend. It is a fall weekend in Michigan, so have fun. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve